I'm gonna throw up the actual stream for everyone. Um, when it kicks in on the YouTube, we can throw it up live. Oh, there it is. Woohoo! Found it. Hi everyone. Muck, Bob, JD on the bottom, kind of like down there. Um, it's been a wild and crazy life. Um,
Buy stocks. Buy stocks.
yeah, buy stonks. Apparently, it's trending now. Um, the SEC made fun of meme stock buyers with I don't know if you saw that with their new investor.gov and you should do research and not just blindly buy things. That was hilarious. It pissed off a lot of
Oh, I
people.
didn't. I didn't see that. I missed that.
Yeah, it's that was pretty funny. But
So, Muck, I think. I mean, it's an interesting market day. The market started off very soft. I made money on the short side this morning, and then basically I was like, "Well, I'm not doing anything until I come back this afternoon." Missed my nap. Missed making my missed my haircut appointment because the guy was fully booked. So then I was going to go to Costco. Then I thought better of it. So I've been sitting around here, and then I just did a quick long on Nasdaq before, and now it can. I mean, I'm out. I'm out.
I
I got 20 points, but
I rode the Nasdaq long with you, and then I got short the Nasdaq, and now I'm just kind of wishing I didn't.
you can't be a pig, Mock. That's what I've learned.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you
You
make a
always
fool.
win when you always win when you take my stuff, though, Mock.
That is true.
So, I think, in light of all the bad news, it's just amazing that stocks still want to go up. But that's it. You cannot fight it. We're in a bear market, but the fact is that sometimes the market's just gonna react in such a way as to just punish people. So, you got to be patient. I mean, you got to be tactical. I mean, I'm a day trader. I don't like to carry things overnight unless I'm very comfortable with the position. Um, I like to be flat at the end of the day. This is a difficult market. I mean, what we were down at 4,100 this morning, under 4,100 this morning, and now we're plus we're we're plus 56 handles. How much were we down? 25. It's unbelievable. The market is disastrous. You got to be careful out there, folks. Be very careful. Don't
It's
overextend yourself.
it's a it's it's Mr. Toad's wild ride out there. You just
It is
gotta
Mr. Jones' wild ride.
you just gotta know your limits. Sorry, I'm looking at some futures right now, trying to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, people that and I have done this before too many more times than I'd like to admit. But people that don't respect their stops and say, "Well, I have one in my mind. It's a flexible stop." Holy shit! You go from what was a good day to a bad day, but quick. You go from a bad day to a atrocious day. It's not good, people. Use stops, especially in this market. It's insane right now. It's insane.
Yeah, there.
I
I
mean,
mean, there's no volume on this NQ ladder at all. It's just pretty sick.
no, Nasdaq's up almost 300 handles. 300 handles. It's unbelievable. This thing is such a BOS. I mean, if you were, I mean, aren't if you're a long-term trader, aren't you sure? Are you buying some puts up here? I don't know. Buy some U's. For the September puts. I don't know. I would be holding on to this goddamn shit. Um, what else? My crude. We had some interesting news today. OPEC announced that they're going to increase what it was some odd amount, 400 and It basically was 2/3 of the Russian shortfall they're going to make up
From where?
over the next 2 months. What's that? They just expanded their quotas. Um, you know, the Saudis will make up a lot of it, I guess. So it initially crude had been down a lot and then was back up. I have not really been following it. It's up $1.55 at once, just short of just eyeing up 117 again. So they didn't really buy it. I think OPEC has problems in terms of production. I mean, I'm no expert. I know enough for government work, but crude's a dangerous game right now, boys and girls. Dangerous game. I pick and choose when I'm going to play it. I
What
used to
about
play it.
natural? How do you feel about natural gas?
Natural gas exceeded 9 today, right? That's what I heard. Let's see if I got. Now it's down to. I got down 10 cents, but I heard it was over 9 this morning, very early. I don't trade it. I do have it on my screen, but I'm in a natural gas play, supposedly, but we'll see. I don't have much else, Muck. I'm just yapping like
I mean,
kid on Snapchat.
I moved into a lot of I moved into some coal miners um in the past couple weeks. Um, I'm long Twitter on the long side now in calls. Um, I'm long lines. I'm doing arb a little bit, and just seeing how things are going on that end. Um, you know, um, Kind of want to see what the bond vigilantes are doing in the market. If our Chicago guy is done with his phone call yet,
He's
but
just
I
about
like how
done.
he can listen to us idiots and still do something, which is amazing. I like he's got the
He can multitask.
yeah, he can multitask. I can't do that.
That's good. That's because he's a parent, Muck. Wait till you have 2 or 3 kids. You'll
I
understand.
I'm a simpleton, so uh, it's not much for me to do. I can only work on what I can see, and I can see myself getting murdered in these QQQs. So that's always fun. But
When did you buy? Did you buy puts or?
yeah, I got the puts. I averaged down into them. I'll probably puke them at three. If it gets to 314, I'll probably just puke them for a couple $100 loss and just take my lesson. I could have held.
You
I should
know,
have held those calls that we bought into and held them for like a massive profit. Now I would have been up like 700% now.
I gotta take a call here, Muck.
Oh, everyone's leaving me now. Bob's on a call. I'm getting murdered in puts on the Qs. Um, Lefty's on a call. What else is good? Apple's been good today. That's exciting. Um, I'm almost I'm almost even on my big five position, so that's exciting. I never thought that would happen in my life. Um, some of the meme stops are like kind of rolling over here a little bit. Um, I'm essentially just waiting to puke out this massive loss. If this Nasdaq doesn't roll over, doesn't look like it is. It looks like I'm gonna puke.
I'm
Oh,
back, Muck.
Bob's back.
I just had
Um,
I had a kid emergency.
there's just there's so many companies out there that are just that from their 2019 bottom or 2020 bottom to now, we're up hundreds of percent and now we're down 70, 80%. That's just kind of insane.
Microsoft warns and starts off down 4%. It's now
Uh,
green. Go figure.
Well, it looks like this Nasdaq wants to sell down. Hopefully, it sells down, fills me out.
Be patient, my son.
And we'll have a
You got some time.
we'll have a good.
It's only 2 o'clock.
That is true. Um,
What what hand on the futures do you need to get down below? You
um,
know,
yeah. If it can get down to like 12 12,832 would put me right. Would really get me out. So that'd be nice. Um, so just a little bit, like that mid green bar that set us up. If we can get somewhere around there, I'm
all
out.
right.
If not, whatever. I mean, I've taken worse
Well,
losses. Why we've been on
yeah,
here before.
guy with your money, guy with your money. I mean, my lord.
You know, money comes and
So
goes, but friends stay forever, right?
that's so true. That's so true, Muck. You're such a sensitive guy. You are
Um,
such a sensitive fellow.
JD and 2 Year owe me some dinners when I come out in Chicago in July, so that's nice.
How was your trip to New York that you didn't tell me about? That it's
It
fun
was
and
great.
cold talking.
It was very productive. I'm gonna be back in New York in July after I get back from Chicago. So maybe I'll hop on out to Stanford and see you. And I'm gonna get stopped out here soon. Fun times have I all.
So I don't know, Muck. I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, I think initiating new longs is kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, I pick and choose, I step and move. Um, I am currently in 3 longs.
I can let you know
But
the housing market in Southern California is kind of ground to a halt,
yeah, it's the same thing out here.
especially on the high end. JD just
Well,
kicked a field goal.
Hey, what's going on, boys and girls?
Hey, there he is.
What I miss?
we're just we're just kind
I'm
of
just
holding it together.
I'm just losing money on my on some puts on the QQQs right now. Just puking.
Why? How in the world? Like, okay, sorry.
Well,
We
here's what happened, Lefty. So I told him before we started the show. I said buy the cues right here. Bought the cues, made a quick $500. Boom, done. Then he decides I'm going to short it here. So now here he is, giving the money back. The worst thing, some rookie trade mistake.
Why don't you
So
do
just
like? Why don't you sell a call spread and buy a put?
I
Why
can
don't
do
you like
that.
hedge yourself off? Grab some of that extra cheap premium that's out there today. Vol got smoked. It's off 1%. Grab some of that. Lock in a little downside. This thing feels squishy. Everything's really calm. Vol has stayed constant. We're higher in the equities. This is a BS rally. Adios, muchachos. I'm with you, Muck, on the puts, and do the what are the Qs at? 13 right now? Where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the 13-17 call spread and then sell that thing and buy an '07 put. I bet you can do it for, I don't know, 60 cents.
Uh,
For tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. I'm not talking about the next year. I'm talking about like 36 hours.
Yep. Yeah. I just put one on. Um, I'm selling the 14 and buying the 16. So I
For
think
June
it
3rd.
yeah, for tomorrow. Yeah.
14.16, so that's 75 cents. And what do you have what can you scoop up some cheap put for? What can you scoop you can do the 08s. You can do it for a dime. You can do the whole package that I just told you for a dime.
Yeah. I'm already long the 12s. I'm already long the 12s on the put side.
Okay.
So just scooping right now. I did that spread. So yeah, I mean, hey man, it could be worse. Could be a worse day.
I mean, it's a strange day, period, but
yeah.
It is a weird day.
How's life on your end?
oh, glorious, fantastic. What would you like to know?
Where's the where do you see the? Well, I mean, what's going on in the bonds?
I mean, the yield curve's about ready to give you a poker hand, right? If you got the 10-year, the ultra 10-year, the 30-year, and the ultra bond up, you've got plus 7.5, plus 9, plus 7, plus 5. You're about to get quad 8s, and we're gonna go yell Yahtzee or something. I don't know. I think it's one of these days where you're looking at the market and you're saying, so they came out with a bad ADP miss. They came out with revisions in April that knocked 100,000 jobs back out of the market. You had Jamie Dimon come out yesterday and talk his book about how he's screwed. That's Jamie Dimon talking his own book, trying to weather some of whatever that is. And then you have what's her name, Brainerd, or however you say her name, come out and say that there's no chance we'll slow down rate hikes. I don't believe any of that. I think that 2% is the number, and I think we're headed for 2%. I think you can take every other piece of expectation off the table right now. I don't think it's almost like we're going to give you moderately bad news and we're going to rally. Really bad news will sell off, but moderately bad news, it's okay for the stocks. Oh, so that's my take on the day. There you go.
I would agree with that take. I think it seems weird.
Can anybody walk me through what it means to be a swing trader? Can somebody give me a concise definition that doesn't sound like you're just fluffing my ass with a feather?
I can't. I mean, I think a swing trader is when you trade extended patterns. I'll go with that.
Like there's like a pitching machine and you're up there just taking swings at it. Like what the hell? Seriously, what are we talking about here?
I think it's like one of those inverted cup and handle and chart technician guys. Breakouts and breakdowns, and I think that's what they do. I don't know. That's a chess and wine or a Trader Stewie question, not a muckbear. He's not equipped to handle that one. I feel like you swing and miss a lot if you're a swing trader, but when you hit it, you hit it, and then you write all about Twitter on it.
Yeah, that would be a new one. I've never heard anybody talk about their trades on Twitter.
I've never heard anyone talk about losing trades on Twitter.
Very true. Bob, you're muted. We like that, but you need to talk to us.
I said, I know exclusively a swing trader, and I mean, honestly, I've been following him, and I know him fairly well, but I don't know what the fuck he does. I mean, he's doing some pattern surfing. All I know is he's like, he was $1 million short or $1 million in the hole on a gold play that he had 50 contracts at 1925. He had another 50 at 1900, and he's been underwater. But now I guess it's finally hit resistance today. Let's see where it's at right now. It's still right at resistance, 871. Yeah, so it's right there. I don't understand. I couldn't see. I like to sleep. I couldn't sleep. It just makes me fucking crazy.
Well, that's an old Livermore saying, right? An old Jesse Livermore when he says, The reason I don't take tips is because they aren't there to tell me when to get out, and I know that if I can't sleep, I have too much on. So,
Yeah, that's right.
I get it. What do you have your eye on these days? Crude continues to be just a pain in the ass.
Crude's an incredible pain in the ass. I made some money about a week ago. I really have not been trading it very much. You just saw this push. Then you had I said just before you got on, OPEC announced an increase in their output, which basically was two thirds of what they're missing from Russia. So that's why it's some weird amount. It's like 462,000 gallons or something like 462,000 gallons, which is like two-thirds of 600,000. I don't know what it is, but it's some crazy. Maybe it's 432. But anyway, it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma. I think it's going higher. I can tell you that I know that the biggest balls on the block, Pierre Andran's been long and getting long under 100 every time it drops down there. Also told that the Strategic Petroleum Reserve has buyers anytime it's under 100. So I have people that are just doing which basically a swing trade. They're taking parts off at 105, parts at 110, parts at 115, and looking to get to 120. And they're buying anytime it drops under 100. It's a dangerous thing. I think supply is constrained. I don't see supply increasing and demand. You saw the drivers this weekend. I don't think it's going to stop here in the U.S.
What price point do you think it stops from a gasoline perspective?
Where does it stop from a gasoline perspective?
Where does the demand decrease from a price sensitivity? I mean, my space that's 2 blocks away here in Oak Park is $5.89 for the cheap stuff.
Well, that's a dollar more than it is here. A dollar more.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the city. I was in the city last week, and it was already over $6.75. So I imagine it's $7 in the city.
It's got to happen soon, doesn't it? I mean, people just don't have that kind of money. I mean, you saw consumer credit keeps, getting extended. People don't have any funds. All the money that was saved up during COVID has been spent, and now people are putting it all on loading up their credit cards.
Well, there was an interesting statistic. Did you see the one that came out that said that credit card debt is expanding, but so is the savings rate expanding, which is a very strange break apart. But what the economists argue that is happening is that you are seeing the middle and the lower class use the expansion of credit to fund just day-to-day necessities in basic life, while the upper level that has really experienced a pretty generational wealth building moment has continued to save. And so you're having a giant red flag that's pulsing saying, hey, your lower class is getting beat over the head. Your upper class, from just a wealth perspective, is not spending. They're actually saving. And so you're almost getting a vortex that's going to, I don't know. Biden's putting together a brand new team to tell us that his economic plan is doing well, which is just, at some point, are you guys who voted for Biden going to come out and be like, I'm sorry, like he is just the worst president that has been around for the last 100 years? Who's worse than Biden?
I don't think anyone wants to admit it.
Well, nobody else wants to admit that they all got duped by COVID, but COVID's not a thing. COVID's the flu. F off. Come at me. Yeah, prove me wrong. Like, at some point, somebody's got to come out and have the balls to say it. Layman's don't play sports with small balls, so you know where I'm at.
It's a bad flu.
He told my wife that. He goes, Layman's don't play small ball sports. We're not good at that shit. It was hilarious.
She took it well.
She laughed.
I think that I think that inflation, given the circumstances, inflation was going to be out of control irrespective. I think the Federal Reserve waited way too long in starting to pull in their troops, and now they're caught. They are caught,
I think everyone's
and
caught.
everyone's caught. I guess, yeah.
I think
Save your money. Save your money.
I don't. I just don't understand why they didn't act slower. I didn't understand why they kept saying things are transitory when they obviously were not. Um, China made the smartest play of all time, where China's not really happy that we're backing the Ukraine, so China just went to no COVID policy and are just fucking us in the supply chain intentionally. And they can just say, "Oh, it's COVID," but it's not. Like, they don't really give a shit. They just want us to feel some pain.
Walk me through how that situation actually makes us feel pain, because I disagree 100%.
I mean, we have chip shortages still for everywhere, like on everything. Everything's back ordered. I mean, anything that I really want to buy, we have to buy now. And stuff for the baby all gets made in China, and that we ordered it 3 months ago, so it gets here by September. It's
So you're equating a mild inconvenience of a couple months wait or pre-order time to effing the United States. I'm going to push on you here because I completely disagree.
I mean, what else could, I mean, other than taking Taiwan or doing something like aggressive like that, China can make their stance, but just fucking with all the stuff that we need to get into China. Also, they're not pulling in stuff that we want to sell, like Nike's numbers, Apple's numbers. A lot of our companies that make money here's numbers are shit because of the China lockdowns.
I mean,
I don't know if it's
China's
really fucking us, but it's like a more of a severe annoyance in the bum region.
well,
It's not
China's growth rate has slowed dramatically, right? They're now looking at actually what I think the last estimate was 4.5% for 2022,
Okay.
which is dramatic. I mean that's problematic for the country. Now, whether President Xi has decided to pivot a little bit, I don't know if the numbers. I think the numbers have gotten significantly better in Shanghai, so they could move those restrictions. Now, whether that portends a real fundamental change in their COVID policy from a zero tolerance to somewhat, an acknowledgement that it is the flu. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a problem for President Xi because he goes in front of the Chinese Communist Party, their policy board in October, and he's asking for more time to be, king of the world, and it's problematic.
I see the enemy is far more systemic and stateside than the enemy is some nefarious Chinese, Russian, German collusion activity. Like, dude, these are our failed policies that are biting us in the ass, 100%. And I'll go down swinging, telling you that we tried to print our way out of a problem that we created. We tried. This is the first time the Fed hasn't been able to control inflation with their regular monetary BS policies, that whatever you want to call them. Also, this will be the only time I talk about this, but for what it's worth, the US digital cryptocurrency hits the tape sometime around November 12th.
And then that just crushes all cryptocurrencies.
I think there's maybe a handful of winners. I think you ever seen the statistics on how many car manufacturers there were at the turn of the century, back in like the early 1900s?
Yeah.
Some estimates have it as high as 1,800 different people were manufacturing cars. You tell me how many we have today, and I'll tell you what's going to happen in crypto.
We have 7.
Maybe. I mean, Jaguar is owned by Ford. It's like, really? Who owns VW?
I
Right?
was just like, VW owns VW.
Who else do they own?
Mercedes
Porsche.
owns Mercedes.
No, they don't. They don't
Wait,
own Mercedes.
GM, Ford. Is there? Well, there's one more American one, right?
Toyota, Fiat, Nissan.
There's literally 7. There's like 7, and that
My point is, you're going to have
Not
to
many.
pick and choose. And I think Bitcoin probably weathers the storm, but probably not in the way that makes it look like it's a $150,000 coin price. I don't know, but I sure as hell wouldn't be selling puts in it.
You need some puts in the new U.S. digital currency.
Would I sell puts on the new currency? No, I mean I wouldn't sell puts on the on Bitcoin. Anyway, Mark, I was saying, I mentioned something to Bob. I said that the savings rate and the credit utilization rate are both upticking, which is a unique special vortex, which shows that your lower income individuals are dying trying to just meet day-to-day needs, and your upper class is experiencing wealth expansion at a pretty spectacular rate to the tune of them saving it. I think that's a pretty ominous sign for the future of our economy. I would not be surprised to see the entire major index complex down another 10 to 12% from here before September 1st.
damn.
It's real numbers.
That would hurt.
Well, I mean,
You get your wealth effect right there, right?
Do you foresee any political implications of the same? I think that's what people have to be concerned about.
I mean, from what angle, Bob? I'd love to hear that one worked out a little bit, because I think I agree, but I'd love to hear where you're coming from.
Well, whether the lower class and the lower middle class recognizes what has happened. I don't know that they do. I don't know that they do, like the people that watch this and that the three of us talking do, on what the Fed policies have really done in terms of lifting up the upper class and the upper middle class, and really, to the detriment of the whole. And the people that pay for that detriment to the whole are, again, those people at the lower ends. It leads to just the set of circumstances that you're talking about, because the people who benefited over the last 2 years, when the Fed was just buying bonds so that people would push into assets, i.e., stock, real estate, etc. The people that benefited were the upper middle class and the upper class by huge amounts, huge amounts. So even if they were slow to sell those stocks, and they waited until March, waited until April, and they said, "What the hell's going on in the market?" and they sold their Amazon, but they bought it at 1,200, and they sold it at 2,700. And maybe they didn't get hit by the worst of it, but boy, they're sitting in cash now, and they're going on their trips. I mean, that's what you saw. I think yesterday the CEO of United Airlines came out and said, "Oh, demand is huge. Of course, people just want to go. People that have money are going to go." Now, the other people, and that's, I think, what you're seeing in the credit numbers. The credit numbers are just ghastly. People are just going to are maxing out those cards already, and we haven't seen the worst of the gas prices yet. We're not in holiday season. What the fuck is going to happen 6 months from now? Disaster.
I'm actually with you. I couldn't agree more. I think the only way that you don't see a market sell-off of pretty dramatic proportions from this point, I know we're down 25% in the NASDAQ, but I'm talking about going forward. is if you can somehow figure out how to make people vote blue again by raising the stock market prices. The problem is kind of what you said. The amount of people that have cash available in the market is only the people that are not affected in the current
That's
policy.
exactly right.
And there is a lot of, like, I know we're hearing about shootings. I don't like violence. But I'll tell you what, there's going to be violence in the major cities, especially if any of these wackadoodle food predictions start to come true and you start to see lines. You are going to see intense violence in the big cities. Intense. You can already feel it starting to boil on the west and south sides.
That's not good.
What are the food predictions? That we're going to run out of food?
Well, how many meat or poultry processing plants have burned to the ground since last July?
I think it was 14.
Go fucking big.
I thought it was 14 or some of that.
I'll take the over. It's over 20 globally. 1 or 2, fine. 3 of them got hit by airplanes, small airplanes. 2 of them or 3 of them got hit by a small airplane crashing into them.
Were there people in that airplane, or was that just like a remote airplane? They just went burp?
That's the story. You do the math. That's not my monkey. I'm just saying, if you read conspiratorial websites right now, one of the big predictions is that you're going to see a global food shortage in the next. Here's the honest truth. First of all, I don't believe there's 7 billion people on this earth.
You think there's more?
I think there's way less. I think China has overcounted and over-publicized their numerical data for the last 50 years, and I'm willing to say there's stats out there that back it up. And I think part of your problem is that when you implemented a one-child policy, you actually starved your working class that was coming up, and you don't have that class anymore. You want to know what China's problem is? They built a whole bunch of ghost cities, implemented a one-child policy, and there's nobody left to live in them. You want to know why Evergrande is blowing up? Yeah, they made a whole bunch of dumb investments. Dude, there's something out here. The world can easily support however many billion people there are right now. I don't believe in that. Like, follow the money. Follow the money. This is why I think global warming is a sham. Sorry, we're going conspiratorial today. If global
I thought China got rid of the one kid policy.
Sure. What happens when you have a 100-year, 50-year, one kid policy?
Oh, yeah, true. That's a lot. That's like 5 decades. So that's at least 3 or 4 generations, right?
No, it's one generation. Basically, it was like a 30-year policy, but I mean, the impact is just huge. It's huge.
Look at the birth death rates for developed countries. Tell me which developed country has a positive birth death rate.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Probably because I'm
which developed country? Jeez, I don't know. Are there any?
Is it some European Swedish country?
I don't even know. I don't think so. I mean, everybody's facing a reduction. All the developed world.
Yeah,
why can't you just colonize Mars?
Any rate,
why can't we just
turn we got on this?
We should just turn everything over to Elon. He has all the answers. Let him control the world. I'd be down for that for a little while.
Really? You want a Neuralink chip in your dome?
I mean, at least it'd be funny. What we have now is just sad.
It is sad, Mark. It is.
I'm just getting killed in this QQQ. Just sitting here, having fun.
Well, you could have just been sitting here fat and happy, living off your money that you made, and instead, you love to just, you got to pivot into another trade immediately. That was insane, Buck.
I could have just held. I could have just held those calls, and I would have been up at this point 1,000%. But
Well, but I don't know that that would have been prudent. At some point, they're going to let this go. I mean, I haven't seen any. What's interesting is that that the volume has really been tepid, but for that big algo buy, like what was that 145? I guess there was a big one at quarter after two as well. So, but I just don't know. I mean, I don't want to buy anything along up here. I don't want to get anything along other than for plays.
I mean,
Swing trading.
I think by the end of this month, I think you're going to see not like great credit, but like average credit 30-year fix that somewhere around 7.25.
For mortgages?
Yeah, bad credit's already there. Like not top of the line credit's already in the sevens for
Wow.
30s.
That'll cool the housing market.
Well, I tweeted this out maybe 2 or 3 days ago, but the homes around me are all suddenly having massive price reductions.
Yeah, 6% or more, right?
Yeah, 6% is the minimum. They're coming in. Some of these guys are knocking 15 to 20% off the price of their house. Where a couple months ago they were going 14 days, all cash on close, 25,000 over ask.
This wasn't talked about much, and we haven't talked about it at all. But during the housing boom, and this was early on during COVID, significant players, BlackRock namely was one of the big names around there, was buying tons of residential real estate in very directed and particular areas. I know in the Nashville area they were buying, and they were buying in the New York area around here. They were basically they were hitting the bids on properties that were for sale, waiving all like inspection, everything else, saying we'll hit your bid, boom, and literally taking them off the market the second they hit the market. So I don't even know how many of those houses really transacted. I don't really know, but those people are all gone. They were living on free money, and they saw that as a good investment.
Well, here's the problem that I see with that, right? So let's say you go in there and you crank out, you buy the first 5 homes in Nashville, in East Nashville, which is that cool bougie area, right?
Yeah.
You buy those homes at 400,000, and then you buy the next few homes, the same home, but you buy them at 510,000. And the next few homes, all of a sudden, you've raised the value of all those homes tremendously, right?
Yep.
And you've effectively priced out all the people who sold the $300,000 homes. There are no more $300,000 homes. There's only $500,000 homes. And so we've been turned into a nation of renters. And I think I just saw that average rent in Austin jumped from 1,800 to 2,800 in the course of a year.
Yeah.
That's $12,000 of disposable income that you no longer have at your disposal.
It's gone up it's gone up in San Diego a lot. It's gone up like 44%.
I think it's happening nationwide, or at least in all the big cities.
I mean, the reason why I bought this is because in the middle of COVID, they wanted to increase our rent on a 2-bedroom from like 2,500 to 2,890, and they got rid of a ton of the amenities that we had, so we got less amenities, and they were going to raise our rate in the middle of COVID, while also for new people coming in renting, got the first 6 months free.
Well, they gotta pay for those 6 months free somehow, right?
Yeah, I just gave them the middle finger. I'm like, at this point, I can have a mortgage and have pay less on a mortgage than I'm gonna pay in a fucking 2-bedroom apartment. Oh well.
And what happens if you don't have the socioeconomic mobility that you do?
Then you're SOL, I guess. You got to
Yeah.
find a cheaper place to live. So like Chula Vista or somewhere more shitty.
Yeah,
Tijuana.
I mean,
I know a lot of people that are living in Tijuana now and just do their job leave their car on this side of the border, walk over, and do their job because it's actually way cheaper. You can, for $1,500 a month, you can have a palatial pad in Tijuana in a gated, secure building and have like 4 bedrooms.
I mean, I commend Elon Musk for trying to do this, like, hey, you got to come back to the office kind of BS. But let's be honest, you're going to see the Loop. I was down in the Loop yesterday in Chicago. It's gorgeous, but it's maybe 60%, maybe high end 60%. Every coffee shop has space. Every restaurant along the Riverwalk had space. It's gorgeous here. I mean, it's 60, it's 72 and sunny and just absolutely stunning. And there's no one out. There's no one down there.
That's insane. In like 2017, everything would be packed.
Oh, beyond packed.
That's insane.
Anyway, sad story. It's our failed policies. It's not the Chinese boogeyman.
So where are you in 2 you're taking me to dinner? Taking me and the wife to dinner, since you guys lost.
We'll go walk into Auchevelle.
All right.
We're gonna make you eat some bone marrow. You and your wife, suck it down. I want to see the. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. I lost that bet.
She's pro beef right now. She just can't drink because baby. But
yeah, I think you're past that stage, but it's okay. We won't make her drink.
You drink enough. You drink enough for 3 people, Buck.
Now I was gonna say, like, it's not like our bar tab's gonna be any lighter.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, New York was wicked bar tabs. Oh. Whoa.
I do love going down to like Champaign or anywhere else where my family lives out of the beaten path. And I forgot that there used to be drinks for like $4. Did you know that? The drinks used to be like $3 or $4.
Oh wow.
I haven't seen a $3 or $4 drink, cocktail, bottle of beer in months.
Definitely not anywhere in New York.
Yeah, I mean, even my local dive bar is up to $5 a bottle for buckets.
Oof.
Life is tough.
Tough business. Tough business.
Okay, so
Buck,
go ahead,
you're looking like you may be alive in this on this Nasdaq short.
I'm trying not to get too happy. I'm only down like 130 at this point.
Well, net, you made $350.
That is true.
Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to say. It looks like they're going to sell this thing here at the end. I mean, I don't know. It may just recover. This was the strangest market today. I am so glad that I haven't had many trades, and
I'm
so
just biting my
glad
nails waiting for this thing to fill me out. And then JD's call spread that he told me to sell will be in the money. Get rid of that. Let's go.
Let's go. Where's Tom Brady when you need him?
Playing golf with Aaron Rodgers and versus Mahomes and Josh Allen. That was a horrible thing, but I think it showed the discrepancy between young golfers and golfers who are old. Because Rodgers and Brady were hitting the fairway like all the time, and Mahomes and Allen were driving the shit out of the ball, but not hitting a fairway at all. It was fun to watch.
Hey guys, I know what hit the market. Apparently, somebody's talking to Larry Fink, head of BlackRock, and he says the Fed doesn't have the tools to fight inflation now, which is just basically what we talked about. So, yeah, but it's somebody with a little bit more credibility than the 3 of us.
Fink's a smart man. So is Cohen. So is Tepper. Shit, anyone who has $1 billion is a smart man, smarter than I am by $1 billion.
So is the measure of your intelligence wealth?
Financial wealth. If you earn it in the markets, I would say it's a good measure of intelligence.
Really?
Unless your name is, yeah, no, fuck it. Bill Gross got in at the right time and ran that all the way up. I'm not going to fault him for that. But I would like to say that I'm nowhere probably near as smart as Paul Tudor Jones or David Tepper.
I think it's a host of different elements, but I do know where Larry Fink's house is, so we could take a ride over there from my house and egg his house if we can. Well,
I'm
we
in.
can't get close enough. We
I'm
can't
in.
get close enough. We'd have to throw it over the ornamental apple
Fence.
trees that he has all over the property.
There's I was on a train to Connecticut when I out there, and there's a really nice golf course on that train where they actually have caddies that have like a bib. I don't know what golf course that was, but it looked nice. It looked like a bougie country club. I thought Bob would probably be a member.
There's a lot of bougie country clubs around here, man. There's a lot of money in Fairfield County. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I got a wife who came from Fairfield County.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sign off. This was fun. Appreciate it, boys. I got to wrap up here at 2:00 so I don't miss a bunch of prints. But let's do it again. And if you have a September 1st market call, we should make a little running tab and put them out there.
I'm down for that.
All right, I'll bounce back and we'll do that next time around.
Yep. I'll
Sounds
see you guys.
good.
We'll do it next week.
Peace.
All right, I got to bounce. See ya.